Good morning, and welcome to Monday Marketing with Suzanne. I am delighted to be here with you for week 3 of my content planning series. And today we are going to be talking about 3 simple steps for making content happen, because it's no use planning on it if you don't get it done. I am Suzanne Moore, and I work with independent entrepreneurial women to help them figure out what the 2 to 3 things are that they really need to focus on right now in order to bring revenue into their business, rather than focusing on all the shoulds that tend to drag them down and stress them out. I like to help them bring in that revenue so that then they can hire someone to help them with all the shoulds. So 3 simple steps for making content happen. So we've already talked earlier in this series. This, as I said, is week 3 of a 6-week series. We've already talked about how you deliver content, and we've talked about the frequency with which you are going to deliver it, and whether you're doing series or monthly themes or things like that. And if you haven't checked out those videos, I recommend you go back and watch them. But today I want to talk about really breaking down the work of preparing for each event, so that you can do it with the most success and have it not drag you down. Because let's face it, we can get so mired down in this process that we just never keep going with it. And that's not the point. So the first thing I'm going to suggest is that you always plan to batch the work. So what I do is I personally do series planning. It doesn't matter what kind of planning you're doing. What you want to do is plan out a number of upcoming events, whether it's 2 months worth, whether it's 8 weeks worth, whether it is a 6-week series, right? And you want to come up with, okay, what are the things I'm going to talk about, right? Just generally the high level idea. And you don't want to script out the whole thing right there, because then you're going to get stuck in that first script or maybe the second, and you're not going to keep going. So instead, what I suggest is you plan time to kind of batch plan a series of episodes, right? And that doesn't mean it's it's necessarily a series, but a number of episodes is probably the word I wanted to use. So let's just say you've said, okay, I'm going to plan 12. And I always like the number 12 because it gets you through either a business quarter, it gets you through half a year if you do bi-weekly, a business quarter if you do weekly, half a year if you do bi-weekly, or an entire year if you're doing monthly. So I love the number 12 for planning. And you just come up with the concepts, right? And then step 2 is you create 3 to 5 bullet points per event. So why do I say 3 to 5? Well, do you remember back in middle school when you were taught to write a 5-paragraph essay, and each one was like, here's your main thought, your main idea, right? This is your argument. And then you were taught to do 3 supporting paragraphs, right, for the main argument. And then you did a conclusion paragraph. Well, essentially, every single one of these that I do has that format. I say what we're going to talk about, and then I have 3, maybe up to 5 points that support it, and then I have a conclusion, right? Because the brain, you're teaching or you're sharing your content in a fairly short format. The brain can only handle so much in that format, and people are only going to listen for so long. So break it down. I almost always go for 3, but sometimes I just can't help myself and I go up to 5. And create bullet points for each of your items, right? Again, you're doing, you sit down, you plan for 12, you got the subject line generally, and then you've got, okay, if I'm talking about this, what are 3 things I want to say about it, right? And then you move on. Because otherwise, again, you're going to get stuck in writing those scripts right there, and you're not going to keep going. And then you'll be like, oh, I have 2 weeks worth when I was supposed to have 12. What did I do to myself? Right? And by the way, if you are here, I would love to have you say hello. I always love to see who comes and visits me live and who comes and checks these out after the fact. So drop me a note and let me know if you're watching live or on the replay. Um, and then the third thing is plan some time to come back and finish the script each time you're going to provide your content, right? So what I do each week is, well, I batch plan, right? So I'll plan a series and I'll have, okay, these are the, say, 5 for this one, 6 topics in the series, right? I kind of break it down. I say, okay, and then generally here are the 3 things I'm going to talk about each week of the series, right? And then I put it away. And I walk away from it and I go, great, I've planned my next series. And then weekly, I usually do it Sunday night or Monday morning. Weekly, I write the script. And because I have the bullet points already, it takes me like 10 minutes. It takes me 10 minutes. Now, granted, I'm practiced at it. I've done it a lot, right? But you know, early on, it still only took me maybe 15, right? Maybe 20. If I was writing articles, it might take me a little bit longer because I find that I get stuck in the language and stuff, which is a lot of the reason that I do video. Anyway, so plan that time for yourself before your deadline, whatever it looks like, depending on how you deliver your content. And, you know, finalize it in that moment. It won't take you that long. I'm at the point where I can plan a series in about 30 minutes usually, and then do the script in 10-minute increments. So it just doesn't feel that overwhelming, right? So simplify this process for yourself. Set aside some time to plan out either a series, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 12 topics, depending on the style of delivery you're doing or the frequency of delivery you're doing. And just come up with the titles and the bullet points and then come back to it when you are ready to complete your script or your article, whatever the case may be. Now, I mentioned at the start of this series, and I've been mentioning each week, that if you want to get to the end of all the content planning goodness, you can hop into my membership group, which is called the Implementation Incubator, and get the whole series plus other goodies right away, because I decided January would be a month that was all about content planning. You also, if you hop into my membership group, can get the earlier 2 modules. I started about 3 months ago. So I've got a module all about speaking to your ideal client, and I've got a module that is all about getting referrals from your network and how to do that really effectively. So if those things interest you, if you want support in implementing and creating success for yourself in your business at a very reasonable price, I encourage you to head to SuzanneTMoore.com/membership. Again, SuzanneTMoore.com/membership. And if I can support you in any way, I would love to connect with you. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care.